gals. Today I'm going to do a skincare and concealer routine for girls who have difficult or problem skin like myself. I have rosacea, so if you see, you can see like lots of red splotches on my skin, and that's just kind of sometimes how it naturally is. It's very troublesome, but what I want to do is show you how you can cover that up. There is a lot of tips and tricks that I want to share, so let me go ahead and just get started. If you have rosacea, then your skin typically is going to be really oily, but at the same time it looks dry, it looks flaky. So a really important thing that you're going to need to do is to exfoliate. Nothing too rough because you will irritate your skin. So if you use like an apricot scrub, don't scrub like really hard, don't like get in there really hard, just gently in circles around your face and then rinse it off with water. But moisturizing is actually very important. If your skin is producing a lot of oil, it's kind of got like an imbalance. It thinks that your skin needs to produce it, so it's got that dry feeling, so your skin produces more oil because it's feeling irritated. And a good way to get around that, and this has really helped me, is after you exfoliate and clean your face, just put on like a moisturizer, just something that's very light, something that is, I prefer something that has like hyaluronic acid or something with salicylic acid, because that will help keep any blackheads or enlarged pores at bay. And it's kind of a bit more, it's not as heavy as like moisturizers that you just get for just plain moisturizing. So try to find something that has like salicylic acid, or anti-aging products are very good for being light coverage into it. I'm going to get straight into concealing all these red splotches on my face, like that one. The first thing to do is, if you have a really problematic red spot, is you'll want to put a primer on, and I use Urban Decay eyeshadow primer. You're just going to look at the problem spots and you're just going to dab it on there and blend with your fingertip. Find all the red spots and just dab it on there. And do this really gently because you don't want to smear the product and remove it. You want it to be on those red spots. So I'm just going to go ahead and do this really quickly to all my spots. Okay, after you get all of your primer on all of your little red spots, you just want to kind of let it sit for a minute, because the natural body heat that you produce will kind of help it set in. So just give it a couple minutes to really like settle on your skin and kind of warm up to your natural skin temperature. I also think it's important to note that this works best for like just regular skin discolorations. If you have a pimple, you don't want to use like a primer and then a concealer and all these steps that I'm going to be using, because it will look really, really caked on. This is just for skin discolorization. Skin discolorization for rosacea or people who have birthmarks or that sort of thing. So anything that's like raised up, you're not going to want to do these steps for. You'll just have to do YouTube something different for that sort of thing. Now, what works best for me is, instead of using a concealer, I use a Makeup Forever matte full coverage foundation. I think that a lot of concealers are a little bit too heavy. They're too, like, they'll make creases in your skin, so that's not very good. But what I am gonna try today is, there's this new concealer that I bought. It's the ELF brand, and this is in their lightest shade, which is light beige. I am gonna try this out because I've heard a lot of good things about it. So but usually I do use just like a full coverage matte foundation for my concealer. and I'm just dotting it on all of my problem spots. I'm going to blend it with a makeup sponge in just a second, but I want to make sure I get the concealer on and a little bit warmed up to your natural body temperature. I think that's important, because if you don't and you put it on cold and you start blending it, it will move around a lot and it won't, I don't know, I just don't think it looks as natural as if you would just, you know, wait a little bit to put it on. So what you'll do is you'll just take your little triangle sponge and you'll just gently pat all around where that concealer is dotted on, and just pat very, very gently, because we don't want to remove a lot of product. We just want to blend it a bit. You do the eyeshadow primer, you let that sit. You do your first round of concealer and you pat that in and you let that sit, and then do your second round of concealer and you pat that in. The eyeshadow primer works really well because it will really help the staying power of that concealer. So if you get hot or it's windy or something brushes against your face, or you hug someone that touches their clothes, it won't rub off as easily. It will stay put. And it's going to be in all the same spots. I'm just going to dab it on, let it warm up, and then blend it with the sponge. Blend it in. And afterward, you'll do your normal makeup routine. And be especially careful around the places that you conceal, because you don't want that concealer to move around. You're going to pat it on and we'll blend that with a sponge later. But for the rest of your face, you can just put it on normally. Just brush it on, pat it and brush it, blend it, pat it. You take it and you swirl it around, you get the product all on your powder puff. Get a good amount on there. And see, the product is on there. And what he does is he just kind of, he holds it like this and some of the powder comes off, because we don't want too much powder. And then what you're going to do, instead of like smearing it on, you're going to press and roll, and that will make pores really disappear. And it looks kind of weird at first, like it looks like you're putting a lot of powder on your face, but brushes is what you're actually supposed to use after you put your powder to knock off the excess. So, and ta-da, I'm done. I'll come back and I'll show you what the full look looks like when you put on full eye makeup, lashes, and I'll also show you some before and after pictures. All done. I've done my eyebrows, my eye makeup, my blush, my contouring, lipstick, everything. I'm not wearing bottom lashes because I'm going for a little bit more of a lighter look, as well as very useful to you. And if you have any questions about skincare for rosacea or any problem red areas or anything like that, I would love to help you if you're interested. So just leave something in the comment section below and I'll reply to you. Bye bye.